Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we have even more of the PlayStation 5 leaks to go and cover, and this is a little bit more of an interesting topic going on, where it does kind of seem like a lot of the PlayStation 5 games themselves have somewhat actually failed, and as well, we've also been seeing some really big drama too when it comes to certain various of games and IPs, where just a lot of things have not been going as well as expected. Now, this is kind of crazy too, because apparently some games have been making as little as $500. You guys have heard me correctly. At the end-all, be-all, they barely made a profit on multi-million dollars of copies sold. Some of these games have flopped. And the same comparison too for a lot of things up on PC as well. So I'm going to go talk about this, talk about the drama, talk about everything else in between. And overall, this is kind of just a crazy situation nonetheless. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below. And of course, the brand new giveaways. So make sure you guys are subscribed with that and follow the giveaway links down below. So first and foremost, as I've been covering up the leaks, I made a video on this earlier on today. Just really big apologies towards Insomniac themselves. I kind of personally feel a bit bad even covering on some of these leaks, but a lot of these are already on the widespread side everywhere. So at this point, it's kind of like I'm just reporting on a lot of other folks' reportings too as well. My heart goes out to all the devs because there is a lot of issues when it comes to like just financials of the companies coming out in terms of personal employee information. I'm going to make sure my fat to never go and show any of that personal information, although industry leaks, if they're already being reported on and talked about quite a bit, I will go and discuss them. So it's like just not me on this one. But either way, we've been seeing a lot of big drama when it comes to a lot of these internal leaks when it comes to some of these companies. Now, Insomniac has had a little bit of issues. First and foremost, there's been kind of big things where some games that were pretty mainstream and also mainstay games have apparently even lost money. So a big example is on the fact of, well, Ratchet & Clank. As you guys probably know, Ratchet & Clank was a massive game. One of the first games I felt like a proper PlayStation 5 game, and it was a pure PlayStation 5 exclusive. Now, there is a little bit of like a loss leader, so let's say you want to go and sell the PlayStation 5 console, although you may not have the most and highest amount of sales, and as well, this was a very early PlayStation 5 game release, so the install base was not as high as well, so if they were to release the game as of right this second, there'd be a lot more purchases pretty much everywhere because the game would be newer, etc. And some folks who maybe didn't even have a console until 2023 even may not have been like, hey, it's a 2-year-old game, I don't want to buy it, don't want to spend money on it, or whatever it might be. But right now, Insomniac leaks suggest that Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart was actually a financial flop. This also goes into Sunset Overdrive, which apparently only made $500. And this is kind of scary. Like, this actually seems like PlayStation games are actually losing money when they're not like those big hitters. Think like Spider-Man. Although on the reverse side, you can't always go and say that games like Spider-Man were also the games that are kind of allowing games like Ratchet & Clank to exist. So according to the recent Insomniac ransomware attack, 2021's acclaimed Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart actually failed to break even financially. So Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, released in 2021 for the PS5, failed to break even in sales according to the leaked Insomniac documents. Insomniac's upcoming projects also include Marvel's Wolverine, Spider-Man 3, and also a possible Venom spinoff, and there is also a lot of talks of a brand new Ratchet & Clank as well. While Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart received critical praise, its sales figures actually fell short of its $81 million budget, resulting in an actual financial loss for the company itself. Now, two little side notes as well. That also does mean, like I said, they're also helping sell consoles. I'm sure PlayStation doesn't mind if a game loses, let's say, like around $10 million, because they also probably made that money back from PlayStation 5 install bases. And don't forget, the game is still available as of now, so any future sales, physical copies or whatever, digital downloads, it will still also keep on recouping the losses over time, although at a very slower amount. So while Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart was met with critical praise when it launched on the PS5 back in 2021, the recently leaked Insomniac documents have revealed that it ultimately failed to break even in sales. The developer behind hit PlayStation franchises like Ratchet & Clank and Marvel's Spider-Man was recently a victim of this massive ransomware attack, which will be covering the news in the next few days quite a bit. And the groups responsible have since started leaking the information stolen across the internet. Including this wave of leaks are Insomniac's plans for the future, including the next 5 projects the studio is working on. There's a great deal of information about the upcoming Marvel's Wolverine, and I haven't had a chance to cover that too much because I'm trying to keep those leaks a little bit more on the private side, unless you guys would want them, don't mind discussing it, and such as the supposed actor playing the famous Canadian mutant, and how Insomniac will supposedly use a springboard for PlayStation's exclusive X-Men game to go along with Spider-Man 3 and a long-rumored Venom spinoff. Outside of the Marvel-related Insomniac leaks, it was also revealed that the brand new Ratchet & Clank game could be also coming in 2029. So huge news of those pretty big gaps as well. So unfortunately, it seems that the previous Ratchet & Clank might not have performed as well as Insomniac had hoped. Among the documents leaked in the recent Insomniac data breach was a chart of budgets and sales figures for the last few Insomniac-developed games. And it's kind of the big information to kind of go note. These are like proper sales records. So according to this chart, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart sold 2.2 million units worldwide with $73 million in revenue. So it's not really that bad, but we're seeing a lot of these numbers from other various big games. Such as the, one second, I'm trying to get the proper link over here. This is actually for the proper things, so they're expecting at least 6 million unit sales for games such as Marvel. We discussed this earlier on today. So for this one, that makes sense. Like 2 million in comparison to a massive IP such as Marvel is a failure in PlayStation's mind. So it kind of seems that around, if they sell like around 2.5 to 3 million, they will slowly actually start getting into profit. And as well, it looks like it didn't even hit that, only hitting 2.2. Like I said, though, over time, it can go and sell more. So sadly, this falls short of breaking even with the game's supposed $81 million budget, making actually a loss of around $8 million, which is crazy to go and see. This also goes into the Sunset Overdrive, where Sunset Overdrive only apparently made $500, although I'd rather make $500 rather than lose $9 million or $8 million. So following the recent devastating leak from the ransomware attack, Insomniac Games also laid out all the internet for see. So in the financial document, the development costs, sales, and shares for every game Insomniac has worked on for years were revealed in full. It was noted by eagle-eyed gamers that Sunset Overdrive, a 2014 game co-developed by Insomniac Games, has actually only made the company $500. So Sunset Overdrive was a bizarre, quirky, and adventurous Xbox and PC exclusive game that was released to a relatively positive reception. To take the market by storm, but it was enjoyed by gamers all around the world, boasting eye-popping visuals, entertaining combat, exhilarating traversal mechanics, and a story that was equal parts intentive and tongue-in-cheek. However, though, to these actual leaks, it does seem like it wasn't really a big payday, even the same with Ratchet & Clank. Following the development of Sunset Overdrive, which cost $42 million, the game sold 1.9 million units for a total of $49 million, so around like a $7 million-ish profit. That's not a huge difference, and then after the cost has been divided, because there was also co-developed as well between two other companies, IG and Blind Squirrel Games, Insomniac only made around $500 from the entire life cycle of the game itself. It's a testament to the fact that the game has to typically sell exorbitant amounts for the development studio to make back what is often invested in creating it. That's why, too, as well, they're trying to go give it to this Marvel studio, because in theory, if you can make 10 million sales, although stressful to make 6, if you also factor that in with console bundles, it's not that bad at the end of the day. Now, as well, when it comes to this information, it's nutty to go and see, because they're saying that some of these bigger games, such as Marvel games, have made a lot more extra money, kind of bolstering up the system, which makes sense. So basically, they also had the studio for, say, 2020's Spider-Man Miles Morales, were probably making a total profit of $104 million, which is insane, and then it basically goes and subsidizes up the next few Spider-Man games as well. While the subsequent Marvel Spider-Man Remastered made around $11 million in profit, and meanwhile this year's Spider-Man 2 has already broken even after making a roughly $75 million profit. Of course, this information comes from dubious hacker leaks, so it'll all be met with a healthy dose of skepticism until more concrete evidence comes forth. And once again, I'm also trying to go and state as well, if you're PlayStation, you want to sell consoles, you're also making money on accessories, VR, controllers, pro controllers, whatever. So at the end of the day, that's a big deal as well to go and know. So in the data presented in the recent Insomniac ransomware leak is accurate, then Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart failed to even make back its reported $81 million budget, making it a financial loss for the acclaimed PlayStation developer. There are many possible factors for this poor financial performance, such as Rift Apart being released exclusively for the PlayStation 5, and I do think if it also came out for PS4, it probably would have made a lot more money, especially because I mentioned the install base at the time was very, very small. In any case, it appears that Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart's glowing response from fans and critics alike wasn't actually enough to help keep it break even after its 2021 launch too as well. Although I will go and say over time it may go and have more sales, because obviously games go on sale, winter sales, or just even, like right now, maybe someone watching this video is like, oh, I should go check out Ratchet & Clank, I see it for $20, and they make a little bit of money back as well. Although at this current moment, it does still seem like it lost a lot of money too as well. So this is crazy. There's a lot of information coming out on these leaks, but this is probably one of the bigger ones where a lot of these games have actually not made money, and it's a little bit more concerning. Although some of the big heavy hitters like Horizon, God of War, Spider-Man will definitely go and bring a lot more money for the console itself and these studios, it's still scary to go and see that some of these games may not actually go and be making as much money as people would be expecting. Kind of shows in how much money these games also cost at the end of the day. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below, and the $500 PlayStation 5 or just normal money giveaway. And I appreciate y'all so much for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We'll have another video all throughout tonight.